Have you ever wondered how Mom made those simple meals taste so good, leaving us full and satisfied? With the rising cost of living, budget-friendly meals are more important than ever. Today, let's explore 20 of Mom's classic budget meals, bringing affordable, delicious comfort back to the family table. Number 1. Spaghetti and meatballs. Spaghetti and meatballs is a beloved, timeless dish, though its origins are more complex than often thought. The concept of meatballs likely originated in Persia with dishes like kofta, which spread through the Middle East and into Europe. In Italy, meatballs, or polpettes, were traditionally smaller and not typically served with pasta. It wasn't until Italian immigrants brought their culinary traditions to America that spaghetti and meatballs, as we know it, became popular. This pairing made use of abundant tomatoes and cheaper ingredients in the U.S. Spaghetti's roots are debated, with some historians tracing it to ancient Greece or even China, introduced to Italy by Marco Polo. Number 2. Casseroles. Casseroles have long been a cornerstone of budget-friendly meals, with origins dating back to 18th century France. The term casserole comes from the French word for a deep, round dish used to cook and serve meals. Originally, early casserole dishes consisted of rice, meat, and vegetables. By the 20th century, casseroles became incredibly popular in American households, particularly during the Great Depression and World War II, when affordable, one-pot meals were essential. Casseroles gained further popularity in the 1950s, thanks to the rise of convenience foods like canned soups, making dishes like tuna noodle casserole and green bean casserole easy to prepare. Their simplicity and ability to feed large groups make casseroles versatile and timeless, offering endless variations depending on what ingredients are on hand. Number 3. Homemade pasta sauce. Homemade pasta sauce, particularly marinara, is both an affordable and healthier alternative to store-bought versions. The origins of tomato-based pasta sauces in Italy date back to the late 17th century, when tomatoes, introduced from the Americas, began to be incorporated into Italian cuisine. By the 1790s, recipes for pasta with tomato sauce appeared in cookbooks like L'Appicio Moderno, marking the beginning of their widespread use in dishes like spaghetti. Traditional homemade pasta sauce is made with just a few ingredients: fresh tomatoes, garlic, onions, basil, and olive oil. This simplicity allows for a rich, vibrant flavor and makes it a versatile base for various dishes, like pasta, casseroles, and even pizza. Making sauce from scratch is not only more economical, but also allows control over the ingredients for a fresher, more authentic taste. Number 4. Baked potatoes. Baked potatoes, often called a humble hero, have a rich history that dates back thousands of years to the Andean region of South America. The Incas were among the first to cultivate potatoes, recognizing their nutritional value and versatility. European explorers, such as the Spanish conquistadors, introduced potatoes to Europe in the 16th century, where the dish gradually evolved into the baked potato we know today. Baked potatoes are celebrated for their simplicity and adaptability. They can be served with basic toppings like butter and salt, or loaded with various ingredients such as sour cream, cheese, and bacon. Over time, this dish spread globally, with each culture adding its unique twist, from Turkey's kumper to the UK's jacket potato tradition. The dish remains an affordable, filling meal adaptable to endless flavor combinations. Number 5. Lasagna. Lasagna is a dish with ancient roots originating in Greece, where a dish called laganon featured layers of flat pasta with fillings like meat and cheese. This concept of layered pasta spread to Italy through Roman influence, where it evolved into what we now know as lasagna. By the Middle Ages, lasagna was firmly entrenched in Italian cuisine, especially in regions like Naples and Bologna. The dish gained further complexity with the addition of tomatoes and bechamel sauce during the Renaissance. Traditional Italian lasagna, particularly in Bologna, features layers of pasta with ragu, meat sauce, bechamel, and Parmigiano cheese, baked to perfection. This budget-friendly meal became a favorite worldwide due to its ability to feed a crowd, with leftovers that taste even better the next day. Number 6. Chicken and dumplings. Chicken and dumplings, a beloved comfort food, rose to popularity during the Great Depression due to its simplicity and affordability. Made from basic ingredients like flour, chicken, and broth, this dish provided hearty, filling meals during a time when food was scarce and families had to stretch their budgets. The dish is a combination of tender chicken stewed in broth with soft, doughy dumplings, which were made from flour and water or milk. The origins of chicken and dumplings trace back to both European and American culinary traditions. German immigrants brought dumpling recipes to the U.S., and these evolved into the fluffy dumplings or flat noodle-like versions we know today. This versatile dish became a symbol of resourcefulness, reflecting the creativity of home cooks during difficult times. Number 7, Sloppy Joes. Sloppy Joes, a beloved American comfort food, originated in the 1930s in Sioux City, Iowa. The story goes that a cook named Joe added tomato sauce to loose meat sandwiches, creating the saucy, flavorful dish we know today. The combination of ground beef, tomato sauce, onions, and spices on a toasted bun made it an instant hit, especially during the Great Depression when families needed affordable, filling meals. The sandwich's simplicity and flexibility allowed for the use of common pantry ingredients, making it perfect for large families on a budget. Sloppy Joes also gained popularity in school cafeterias and home kitchens throughout the 20th century, thanks in part to the introduction of the canned manwich sauce in 1969. The dish remains a quick and hearty meal, with endless variations across regions. Number 8, Shepherd's Pie. Shepherd's pie, a hearty dish traditionally made with lamb, traces its origins back to 18th century Britain and Ireland. It was created as a way to repurpose leftover meat from roasts, combining it with vegetables like onions, carrots, and peas, and topping it with a layer of mashed potatoes. This frugal dish became popular among rural laborers and working-class families, especially shepherds, which is where the name comes from. The distinction between shepherd's pie and cottage pie lies in the meat twist. Shepherd's pie is made with lamb, while cottage pie uses beef. The introduction of potatoes to Europe in the late 1500s played a key role in the development of this dish, as they became a staple crop in Ireland due to their affordability and heartiness. Number 9, Fettuccine Alfredo. Fettuccine Alfredo, often thought of as a quintessential Italian dish, actually has a unique origin story. It was created in Rome by Alfredo di Lelio in 1908. Alfredo made the dish for his wife, Inez, who'd just given birth and was struggling to eat due to nausea. His simple but rich recipe used just 3 ingredients: butter, fresh fettuccine, and Parmesan cheese. The creamy, comforting dish helped restore his wife's appetite, and it soon became a staple at his restaurant in Rome by 1914. The dish gained international fame when Hollywood stars Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks tried it during their honeymoon in the 1920s. They loved it so much that they popularized it in the U.S., helping Alfredo's creation evolve into the creamier American version often found in restaurants today, which typically includes heavy cream alongside butter and cheese. While it remains a favorite in America, the original recipe is more modest and rarely found in Italy today. Number 10, vegetarian curries. Vegetarian curries are not only flavorful but also budget-friendly, making them a popular choice for health-conscious individuals. While curry is deeply rooted in Indian cuisine, the vegetarian versions gain prominence in both India and Britain. Dishes like rajma masala, kidney bean curry, and chickpea curry use affordable pantry staples and can be made using fresh or frozen vegetables, which makes them adaptable and inexpensive. Coconut milk often serves as a base for these curries, adding richness without the need for dairy. The spices, such as turmeric, coriander, and cumin, combine to create aromatic and deeply satisfying dishes. These curries have been enjoyed for centuries and remain a staple for many due to their versatility and the ability to customize them based on what ingredients are on hand. Number 11, chicken a la king. Chicken a la king, despite its elegant name, is a simple, budget-friendly dish that became widely popular in the early 20th century. Though its exact origin is debated, most historians agree it was created by a chef in a New York hotel, possibly for a proprietor named King. Made with diced chicken, mushrooms, peppers, and a creamy sauce. This dish was a hit due to its versatility and ease of preparation. It can be served over rice, toast, pasta, or even in a puff pastry. Its luxurious sauce, typically made with butter, cream, and chicken broth, gives it a rich flavor, yet it remains accessible and economical for families. This combination of elegance and practicality ensured its lasting presence in both upscale restaurants and home kitchens. Number 12, homemade pizza. Homemade pizza, a family favorite, has deep roots in Naples, Italy, where it originated as a humble street food in the 18th century. Originally, flatbreads with simple toppings like olive oil, garlic, and anchovies were sold by vendors as a cheap filling meal for the working class. Pizza evolved with the addition of tomatoes, which were introduced to Europe in the 16th century. By the late 19th century, it became popular beyond the streets of Naples, especially after the creation of the iconic Pizza Margherita, named in honor of Queen Margherita of Savoy, with its red, white, and green toppings representing the Italian flag. Making pizza at home is both affordable and fun, requiring simple ingredients like flour, tomato sauce, and cheese. It's an activity that brings families together while offering endless customization options, from classic margherita to veggie-packed creations. Number 13, cornbread. Cornbread, a southern staple, has its roots in Native American cuisine, where indigenous tribes used cornmeal to make simple flatbreads. Corn, or maize, was domesticated in Mesoamerica thousands of years ago, becoming a key crop for Native Americans. Early versions of cornbread were unleavened, consisting of cornmeal and water, cooked over an open flame or on hot stone. When European settlers arrived, they adopted corn as a reliable crop, as wheat didn't thrive well in the American climate. Over time, ingredients like sugar, eggs, and dairy were added, transforming cornbread into the soft, crumbly version we know today. It became an essential food during the early years of American settlement due to its affordability and versatility, pairing well with dishes like chili, barbecue, and beans. Number 14, French toast. French toast, despite its name, has origins that trace back to ancient Rome. In a Roman cookbook from the 4th century, a recipe called aliter dulcia described soaking bread in a mixture of milk and eggs before frying it, very similar to what we now call French toast. This dish spread throughout Europe, evolving over time, with variations appearing in medieval cookbooks. The French later refined the dish and called it pain perdu, meaning lost bread, referring to the use of stale bread that would otherwise go to waste. The dish eventually crossed to America, where it became known as French toast, likely due to the influence of French immigrants. Today it remains a budget-friendly breakfast option, loved for its simplicity and versatility, enjoyed with toppings like syrup, fruits, or powdered sugar. Number 15, chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup is a timeless, comforting dish with ancient origins dating back over 10,000 years to the domestication of chickens in Southeast Asia. Early versions of chicken soups were popular in China, where they were praised for their healing properties. By the 2nd century, chicken soup became a symbol of nourishment, especially when paired with noodles, which were thought to symbolize longevity in Chinese culture. The dish spread to Europe via trade routes like the Silk Road and evolved into various forms, such as Jewish penicillin, known for its comforting and medicinal properties. In the U.S., chicken noodle soup became especially popular after Campbell's launched its canned version in the 1930s, making it a staple in American households. Number 16, mac and cheese. Mac and cheese, a classic comfort food, has a rich history dating back to the 13th century in Italy, where the first known recipe, called de lasagnas, appeared in an early cookbook. The dish grew in popularity across Europe and made its way to America, largely thanks to Thomas Jefferson, who encountered it during his time in France and Italy. Jefferson's enslaved chef, James Hemings, further refined the recipe, serving it at state dinners during Jefferson's presidency. Over time, mac and cheese became more accessible, especially after Kraft introduced its boxed version in 1937, making it an affordable, quick meal during the Great Depression. Today, mac and cheese is enjoyed in various forms, from gourmet versions using multiple cheeses to the simple, budget-friendly boxed options many grew up with. Number 17, chicken pot pie. Chicken pot pie, a comforting classic, has its roots in medieval Europe, particularly in England and France, where meat-filled pies were a common meal. Early versions were filled with various meats and vegetables, wrapped in pastry crusts. When British settlers brought the dish to America, it evolved into the chicken-based pot pie we know today. The dish became particularly popular in Pennsylvania Dutch communities, where it often incorporated regional ingredients like noodles, giving it a distinctive twist. The pot pie's versatility made it a perfect way to use leftovers, combining meat, vegetables, and a creamy sauce in a flaky crust. By the mid-20th century, frozen pot pies became a household staple, thanks to brands like Swanson. Today, chicken pot pie remains a beloved dish, often enjoyed for its nostalgic and hearty flavors, and continues to be a comfort food favorite across the U.S. and beyond. Number 18, ramen noodles. Ramen noodles, now a global culinary staple, have deep roots in Japan but originated in China. Introduced to Japan in the 19th century, ramen evolved significantly, especially after World War II, when it became a popular, affordable street food. This shift from humble origins to a beloved comfort food was fueled by post-war scarcity and the need for cheap, nourishing meals. Ramen is made from just a few basic ingredients: broth, wheat-based noodles, and various toppings like vegetables, eggs, or meat, making it a versatile dish that can be tailored to any budget. Over the decades, ramen varieties have blossomed, from soy-based broths in Tokyo to pork bone broth, tonkotsu, in Kyushu. Its convenience and rich flavor have helped it spread globally, with dedicated ramen shops now found worldwide from New York to Europe. Today, ramen is not just a quick meal, but also an internationally celebrated dish. Number 19, omelettes. Omelettes, believed to have originated in ancient Persia, were popularized by the French in the 16th century. The dish's name is derived from the French word omelette, first appearing in 17th century French cookbooks. Over time, omelettes evolved into a versatile, affordable meal embraced by various cultures globally. Whether cooked in the French style, light and fluffy with minimal fillings, or the heartier American version, featuring browned, crispy edges and stuffed with a variety of ingredients, omelettes have become a staple breakfast dish. Their appeal lies in their simplicity and adaptability. You can customize them with cheese, meats, vegetables, or even seafood, making them perfect for any time of day. Omelettes are also nutritious, providing high-quality protein and other essential vitamins and minerals, while being quick and easy to prepare. Number 20, meatloaf. Meatloaf, now a classic comfort food, has origins that stretch back to ancient Rome. Early versions like the Romanicea used ground meats mixed with spices, bread, and other ingredients to form loaves that were then baked. This dish evolved throughout medieval Europe, where variations featured fruits, nuts, and grains, often reserved for the wealthy. It wasn't until German immigrants brought a version of meatloaf to America, known as scrapple, that it started to take the form we recognize today. Scrapple used leftover meat scraps combined with grains to stretch protein during hard times. In the U.S., meatloaf gained popularity during the Great Depression and World War II, when it became a staple due to its ability to stretch limited meat supplies with fillers like breadcrumbs and oats. By the 1950s, meatloaf became an iconic American dinner dish, a tradition that continues today,